Hi everyone, my name is Elsa. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do my September TBR. Usually I do a little recap about how I did the month before, but we're going to stop that because anyway, usually I film before I have reached the end of the month, so there are still, some books that I can fit in, and I don't even see the point because I don't have punishments. I just move the books I haven't read to the next month. So all the books I haven't read in August, I will read in September. And just so you know, so far I've read a lot of them. I'm quite proud of myself, but as usual, my TBR was way too ambitious, so I didn't finish all of them, and I don't think I will be able to. Like, maybe 3 or 4 will have to move to September. That's life. But I'm nothing if not optimist, so let's hope that these books, plus the ones I'm going to, draw today, I will be able to read all of them. It's going to work. So let's go into the game. So let's start this game. A quick reminder of the rules. I'm starting here and I have to go all the way here. And I don't have a set number of rolls, so I will stop when I cross the finish line. I have 5 categories of prompts and they all correspond to something on the board. And if you want to see all my cards, I will link in the cards the video where I present all the prompts and all the cards. And we also have this, so this is my Walt Disney jar. In this I have the titles of the sequels of series I'm currently reading. So if I arrive here, for instance, I will have to pick a book from this jar. So that's it for the rules, and let's start this game. Today we're going to be Hedwig. So it's so cute. Technically it's not a Disney character, but I love it, and I'm currently rereading Harry Potter, so I'm going to say it works. So we're starting here, and first roll. So you didn't see that, I'm going to roll again. Less hard this time. So we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Incredibles. So what do we have? Oh, read a book with court political intrigue. So I got a book with a court or political intrigue, and so for this one I chose Memory of an Empire, which is an adult sci-fi novel. It is part of a duology and I own both books, so it is just perfect. I will try to read the first one in September and to feed the second book in October. I heard amazing things about this one, and I love political intrigue, I love sci-fi, and I think there's a slow burn sci-fi romance in there, so this sounds right up my alley. I can't wait to read it. Second roll. 2, 1, 2. Ooh, son, what do we have? Oh, book written by a favorite author. I'm so lucky so far. So I got a book written by a favorite author, and I didn't have to think about this one. I picked Jingo by Terry Pratchett. Terry Pratchett is one of my favorite authors, and the City Watch series is one of my favorite series of all time. So I just can't wait to read the next installment in the series, and this is Jingo, and I have to read it. This is going to be amazing. Third roll. 2 again. 1, 2. Content. What do we have? Oh, read a book with a heist. So I got a book with a heist, and at first I thought it would be, really hard to find a book with a heist, and no, I was completely wrong. I actually had a huge mental debate about which one I was going to pick because so many of the books that are on the top of my TBR shelf fit this prompt, and it was so hard. But in the end, I decided to pick a book I already own by one of my favorite authors, and it is Aurora Rising. So I heard amazing things about this one, and the last book in the trilogy is coming out in a few months, so it works perfectly, and I just can't wait to read it. Fourth roll. 2 again. We're going so slowly. 1, 2. Mustard and See. Choose a thriller mystery novel on Goodreads with a number generator. I love this one. So I used a number generator to pick at random a book on my thriller mystery shelf on Goodreads, and I got A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This one I heard so many amazing things about, and I just can't wait to read it. Fifth roll. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew, Hercules. Let's see what we have. Read a contemporary. So I picked a contemporary, and for this one I'm going to read a book I just bought, which is Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. So this is one I heard a lot about, and it just sounds amazing. And so far I've been really lucky with male contemporary romances, because I just loved The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, and just recently fell in love with Aristotle and Dante, and so let's just hope that this one is just as great. Next roll. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Incredibles again. What do we have? Oh! Read a romantic book! So I drew a romantic book. I love romantic books. So for this one I chose Under the Whispering Door, which is the next book by T.J. Klune. This is one of my most anticipated release of the year, so I just can't wait. And although it doesn't say on the blurb that it has a love story, I've read more than 4 books by T.J. Klune before, and they always have a male-male romance. So this one too should have one, and I'm just betting on it. And this book sounds amazing. I can't wait to read it. I hope it doesn't disappoint. Next roll. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Monsters and Sea. Choose a standalone on Goodreads with a number generator. I love this one! So I had to use the number generator on my standalone shelf on Goodreads, and I got Tooth and Claw. So this is supposed to be a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, except that all the main characters are dragons, and this just sounds perfect. Like, I love Pride and Prejudice and I'm obsessed with dragons, so it has to work. I just can't wait to read this one. Probably the last roll. Let's see. 3. 1, 2, 3. Atlantis. Let's see. Read a book under 300 pages. So I drew a book under 300 pages. Yay! For this one, I'm finally going to read Rogue Protocol. So this is the 3rd book in the Murderbot Diaries, and I love this series so much. It's just that I got so many books on my TBR, and I just had so many buddy reads, etc., so many readathons that I just didn't have the time to fit the 3rd book in any of my last TBRs, and it's such a shame because it's such a short book, and I love the series. So it's going to stop right now, and in September I'm going to read the 3rd book. And so we're going, just for fun, to roll one last time, but yeah, I'm crossing the finish line, and so I'm going to pick one last book at random on my standalone shelf. As you know, when I cross the finish line, I use a number generator to pick at random a final book, a standalone, and this time I got so lucky. Guess which one I got? Project Hail Mary. I'm so happy. I heard amazing things about this one, like everyone is raving about it, and it sounds perfect, like everything I want in a book. So I bought it, I own it, and I can't wait to read it. Can you agree, guys? This is one of the best TBRs I ever got. The game was so good to me, like all the cards were just perfect, and all the books I want to read this month, actually, I think are going to be 5 stars. Like, probably they won't all be, but I just can't imagine which one won't be a 5 stars on this list. And actually I'm going to start doing a little game where I'm going to rank the books from the one I think I will like the least to the one I think I will like the most, and then we will see next month if I was right or not. This is actually extremely hard this month because they all seem amazing. So let's see. I think the one I'm going to like the least, only because it has the lowest rating on Goodreads, is Tooth and Claw, but really I hope I'm wrong. After that I'm going to say Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, only because it's contemporary and it's less my thing than sci-fi and fantasy. It's so hard. Then maybe, they're all amazing. Let's say Under the Whispering Door, because I don't want to have too much expectations, you know, on this one. Then A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, because it's hard for me to give 5 stars to thrillers. Then let's say Rogue Protocol, maybe, because it's short, but then let's say Memory of an Empire, then Project Hail Mary, then Aurora Rising, and finally Jingo, because it's Terry Pratchett and it has to be a 5 stars. Alright, but on this list I don't think any of them will be under 4 stars. I really hope I'm right. And finally I will be participating in a readathon the magical readathon, I think the name is. It's like a D&D quest. I will link all the information down below. And basically you create a character and you're going on this novice path, and you have all these little locations, you know, on the map you have to go through, and each location has a prompt associated to it. And so you're supposed to read the book corresponding to the prompt when you reach each location, and so go through them in order and then reach the final point. And it sounds amazing, it sounds great, and the prompts aren't too hard, so I managed to fit almost all the books I talked about in this thing. So I'm going to project on the screen the little map I made on InDesign, and you're going to see with me what the prompts are and what book I used for all of them. So first we have the novice path entrance, and so for this one we had to read the book with a map. And so for this one I chose Project Hail Mary because it has a map. It's not the best map ever, but it's a map, it fits the prompt. Then we have the Ashton tree, and for this one we have to read a book that keeps tempting us, or that is on the top of our TBR. And so for this one I chose A Memory Called Empire because I honestly think it will be a 5 stars, and I've been dying to read it for so long. Then we have The Mist of Solitude. For this one we have to read the standalone, and I picked Tooth and Claw because it's the standalone. Then we have The Ruin of the Sky. For this one we have to read a book featuring ghosts, a haunted house, or other supernatural elements. For this one I choose Under the Whispering Door because I think it tackles the afterlife and ghosts, so we'll see. Then we have The Obsidian Falls. For this one we have to read a thriller or mystery book, so I chose A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Then we have The Tower of Rumination. So for this one we have to read the 5-star prediction, so I chose Aurora Rising because I did a 5 stars prediction video a few months back, and this one was on the list. And finally we have the Aurelium Academy arc, and so for this one we have to read a book with a school setting. And this works perfectly because I've been talking with a friend and we decided to reread the entire Harry Potter series and read 1 volume each month. And so we're starting with Harry Potter 1, and so we're going to read Harry Potter 1 in September, and it fits perfectly the prompt, obviously. So yeah, works perfectly. I have 3 more to add to this list, and I may read them this month or during the next month, because to create our character we have to choose some prompts to, you know, build our character. And so I chose 3, and these books I have until April 2022 to read, so no hurry. I will try to read them this month, but if it's not this month, it will be before the end of the year for sure. So the first one is our background, so I chose to be a wilding. So for this one we had to read a book largely set in a forest setting or outside, and for this one I chose A Psalm for the Wild Belt because I'm not sure, but with the cover I think it's outside, and I seem to remember that the main character is traveling a lot, and so I think it should fit the prompt. Then we have the province, so I chose Dark Meadow. So for this one we have to read Dark Academia, and so I chose Deadly Education. I actually already read the Deadly Education, I loved it. The next book in the series will be released at the end of the month, and so I'm dying to read it, and I just want to reread Deadly Education first, so it works perfectly. And finally, for our heritage, I chose Eltirion, and so for this one we have to read a book with a crow on the cover or title, or a red cover. And so for this one I chose Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda because it has a red cover, obviously, so it works perfectly. So that's it for my TBR. As always, it's ambitious, but honestly it sounds amazing. Like I want to read all the books on this list so bad. I'm just worried to have to add the books from the previous month, and so it will be a lot in the end, but you know what, I will manage. And if I don't, next books for October. That's just the situation we're in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please tell me in the comments if you've read any of the books I mentioned and what you thought of them. I'd love to know. Also, as usual, don't forget to like and subscribe. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you around.